Today I'm going to build and sell a full-blown AI infrastructure system completely from scratch and do it under 10 hours. But not just some basic automation or cold email service. I'm talking about a real infrastructure, something that businesses will happily pay $5K plus for just because it saves them 5 hours a week and adds to the revenue. You're going to watch me find a niche, build the offer, structure the system, pitch it, and install it. I'm doing this live to prove that you don't need a brand, a team, or even a website. You just need a system that works and someone willing to pay for it. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the most important thing I want you guys to start off on, and just pay attention here, is where the opportunity is. Most people build AI agents or build an AI infrastructure like they're guessing a safe code. Like they try a bunch of random combos and hope one unlocks money, and that's why they stay broke. Like that's why they're not getting any results. If you want to be able to sell AI infrastructures and make this in a month, as you can see here, I made $18,000 in the last 4 weeks, right? And make this in a month, you have to pay attention to this. So now you're probably asking, okay, what actually comes first? Before you create a single workflow, you need to know exactly who you're solving a problem for and what they're doing that's already outdated or already losing money on or, wasting time on. A lot of people are doing it backwards. Like, do you really want to waste time building something that nobody wants? I've done it, and that's why I'm trying to help you guys and make sure you don't do it. But I've done it. Building an AI system before diagnosing the business is like writing prescriptions to someone without asking the patient what hurts. Like, that's literally like going to the doctor and you have a problem with your foot and he's talking about your left arm. You have to understand the problem that you're solving. Stop overcomplicating it. I swear everyone's a bunch of overthinkers. This is the only thing you need to worry about. The system isn't the product. The solved problem is the product. Think about that. Nobody cares about your system that is an AI dollar if they're not calling anyone anyways in the business. Think. You have to think. The truth is, most people build AI agents and now AI infrastructures no one asks for. And then they wonder why no one's buying. They try selling what everyone is selling and it doesn't work. Like guys, if everyone is going towards, the same AI agent, but of course that's how we're going to escape that because we're going to build infrastructures and I'm going to explain it later throughout the video. But what that means is we shouldn't go in and sell that because if there's a supply and demand for everything. And if there's more supply than there is demand, because that's what's going on now, like everyone's building the same one-off agent, they're all making the same copy and paste agent, it's not going to be too pretty, right? Or they don't do anything unique. That's not how this works, and that's how it will never work, right? And another big thing is like waiting to start until you're ready to start selling. Like I'm telling you right now, if you're you see how massive this wave is, like this huge gap. Gaps don't stay open forever, by the way, right? You see this huge gap and okay, taking a bunch of people that aren't using AI in their businesses and putting it into their businesses and really getting my foot dialed in there, this is a great opportunity. As you guys have seen before, there's been gaps constantly throughout time of big opportunities, and then they slowly get closed. The more the supply and demand, they weigh out, and then eventually it's very slim, and that's where the best of the best stays. But you can get to the top by stop having this like, oh, I'm not ready mindset, or stop procrastinating. Do what you need to do. Get the help that you need to get, or figure it out yourself if you need to figure it out yourself. Right? That's why I'm helping people, and you can check in the description. I'm helping people so they can be able to really get the help and get it off running. And that's what it's here for. Like most people think, oh, I'll start pitching once I have a huge portfolio, like tons of case studies and an army of 1,000 agents built. How many agents do you think you would sell if you had 1,000 agents before you started reaching out to people? You have to think about that and do the numbers, right? They think that this is just all that matters. When it's not. Like if this doesn't solve a specific problem and it's solving a problem, this honestly, I'll delete it. It's bullshit, right? It's not going to work. The truth is 90% of your AI infrastructures will be built after you start getting clients. After. Like it's literally built after you start getting clients. Unless you like to waste time making a bunch of AI agents no one wants. And most clients just need a good working system first. That's all they want. They want a good working system. They don't want the bullshit that everyone else is selling, right? So a framework tip for that is to send the end result, not the tool. Like a lot of people, this is everyone in the DMs right now. This is everyone in the DMs right now. I build AI agents that eliminate 5-hour tasks forever versus I build AI systems that take care of your whole entire sales floor. It's two big differences. This is the one agent that does one thing, but something that can take care of a whole entire sales floor, because there's multiple things on a sales floor that is done. Now we're moving more towards an infrastructure, right? And nobody cares if it's NAN, Make, Zapier, or Airtable. They just care about the outcomes. 99% of people don't care exactly how they make an iPhone. People just want an iPhone, right? So the opportunity before, here's why this is so important. If you don't know, like the revenue leak, your AI agent just becomes like a novelty. And what I mean by a revenue leak is if you don't understand like in what area they can use AI and what area they can use AI agents to fix and patch their business or make it even better or make it even faster or have a better speed to lead, it's useless, right? If you don't know the business, right, the business model, you can't tie your system to it to see a real ROI. It won't work. If you don't know what part of their day sucks, you're not selling anything that relieves pain. You're just selling a software that no one cares about. So in this section here, I'm going to show you how I can find urgent, cash-backed problems in the wild and how you can too with zero experience or network. So as you can see, you can find frustration in the open. So a lot of ways you can do it is you can go on Reddit and find a lot of different things on Reddit. And this is just like a researching phase. So for example, we can do some searches in Reddit. We can copy and paste stuff like small business, come over here, paste it in, right? Look, things like the biggest mistake you see in small business owners. Why isn't small business selling more common? So you have a lot of things you can come in here and just simply read about. Just do your research. This is how you have to do your own research. So you can find, your own angles, right? Anything like this, like small business or like any type of business, you can go ahead instead of small business, maybe look up SaaS companies. No SaaS-based company will survive AI. I know you guys might not think about it, but this is huge, right? This is how you can come in here and really find, okay, cool. If no SaaS company will survive AI, why don't we sell them an AI infrastructure and they can integrate it with what they're doing? See, that's how we have to think about things like this. Facebook groups is a simple one. You just have to find the specific Facebook groups. Upwork and Fiverr are good too as well, like anything like automation. Twitter is also a great one. You can come in here and use Twitter and go and follow some companies and their CEOs. LinkedIn is great as well. Look, for example, we can go over to LinkedIn. So going over to LinkedIn, you can literally search up anything. For example, home improvement services, just to keep it cliche. Then you can start finding people that have access to it, right? And start just looking for certain people, right? Because we're just looking around right now. Another thing as well is company websites. Every company website you go to, there's always a hiring section underneath. And I can show you guys that later too as well. Your job isn't to guess what the market wants. Your job is to listen and build what's, everyone is already screaming for. And that's why I want to show you guys this sauce right here. So I'm going to give you guys a short list of niche markets that are easy to sell to, already buying these types of services or know they need to, often underserved by tech people like us, and perfect for AI agents that you can build with zero code and really set up these AI infrastructures in. How to think about the niche selection. The goal isn't to find a cool industry, it's to find people already spending money with a painful manual process that repeats often and that you can automate in days and not weeks. So, for example, anything with high lead flow, content creators are a great one. Home service businesses, once they've actually built it up. B2C SaaS companies all have high lead flow. And I mean, they have a lot of customers coming through. You have other things that are useful, like high-value contracts, not that much high lead flow, but once the deals land, they really land. So that's real estate agents, lawyers, anyone in private equity, right? Or there's just a lot of admin work, a ton of admin work that's manually done, and it's makes people want to shoot themselves. Medical offices, insurance agencies, and government agencies are big on that too as well. So think about it. What else do you guys know that's in high lead flow, or is a high value contract, or has high friction admin, right? And the way you validate this, right? And it's and you can write this down on a piece of paper, pause this video, write this on a piece of paper if you have to. But it's, what do I know? right? Who do I know and what's broken, right? So it's just like, okay, what do I know? Like, what do you have industry experience in, right? Or past jobs in that you knew there was something specific that you're like, this could have been fixed. And now that you have AI agents, you're pretty confident you can fix it, right? Or who do I know? Like, do you have any friends or family in a certain business and you hear them complaining about something? People always complain about their work. We know that. People always complain about their work. So who do I know is another question to ask. And then it's just like, what's broken? Of course, like I said, I do offer a lot of help. Like, I do offer people like build like specific offers for them as well that you can check out in the description. But you just have to sit and really think about this for a second. Like, what do I know? Who do I know? And figuring out what's broken. And then I call this the 4 C's, like how to choose the right niche. It's one, do they have cash? Like, do they already spend money trying to solve this problem? 2 is chaos. So is their system clearly broken or inefficient? 3 is consistency. Does this problem happen over and over again? And then 4, connection. Can I realistically reach out and pitch to them, right? So what you can do is you can take any niche idea, you rank each C from a scale of 1 to 5, and if it comes out under 15, skip that shit. If it's 16 to 18, maybe, or if it's 19 to 20, go all in because it's literally the route to go. So like, for example, like sales agencies losing warm leads due to poor follow-up, build an AI infrastructure that revives dead leads and books qualified calls, right? Course creators getting ghosted post-purchase, build an AI that automates onboarding reminders and upsells, right? So now you have an infrastructure that's not just reminders and notifications. You have upsells, reminders, and onboarding. We're putting everything together. You also have coaching businesses struggle with client retention. Build a AI infrastructure that's a content follow-up sequence, but also have emails and reminders set up too as well. And now it's just like wrapping this up with clarity. Like, before you build the agent, you have to build the diagnosis, because a system with no problem is just an expensive noise. But a system that solves a cash leaking problem, that's leverage. That's what people really pay for. Now, let's go look at some companies. I'm going to walk you guys through this whole process now. Okay, so one thing we also want to do while we are looking for like a specific niche, and when we found it already, because what I want to go through with is content creators, because that one is going to be a super simple one to show you guys on this video as well and get quick results. What I also do is I have this chat bot trained on like specific offers and things like this. So it's also easy. Like, if you can't find any problems, and I get it, like, look, you're doing it on your own. This is why I can get a little bit confusing. That's why I also help people out. If it gets confusing, you can use this, and it'll be somewhere like in the resources in the description. But what you can then do is come to it's like, hey, I want to create a AI infrastructure for influencers that have online setting up full, right? And then let's send this off and see what it says. And then when you do that, it should spit out something like this. And now this needs to be your method of thinking. Don't use this as gospel, please, because I don't use this as gospel. So ChatGPT is not going to be your savior here. I'm not going to lie to you like everyone else does. But what you can then start to really go through and rationalize all this. Like, okay, answering the same questions, manual onboarding for every client. Yeah, writing fresh content. I know that's a fact. Messy tech stack. They forget what they already created. No CRM, no follow-up. What should I promote today? Zapier. Yeah, like a lot of their stuff is stuck in Zapier. You can see content marine agent. So, and the thing is like a lot of people, what they do wrong is they go through and they make maybe one thing, or even worse, some people are guessing. Like, it's cool that you can make one of these. But what happens if you can make this, and then you make this, and then you add it in with this, and then you add it in with something else, and then you add it in with a support and refund agent, right? That's probably what I'm going to make right now after this, honestly, because it looks like a good idea. You can literally just go ahead and cook up something like this to be able to go ahead and start to pitch them this within the whole infrastructure. It's not one-off, because maybe you pitch one person, maybe you pitch a bunch of people in the same niche, like one thing, like right here, but it's not necessarily what they need right now, but if you put it all together, you have a higher chance, and you're making it specific for that niche, which makes it even stronger, and you're tying it together really, really tightly, and it's airtight. So this is definitely something you want to use as well when you're going ahead and doing that. Let's continue to move on. So now that we have the niche that we're going after, now what we're going to do is we're going to do the fun stuff. We're going to go ahead and build this whole AI infrastructure. So now we already know the problem, we know what we're fixing, and now we're going to fix this. In the niche that we picked, a big thing that, as I mentioned too, is what's always going to happen is they're going to need help with new ideas, right? They're going to need help with booking calls, booking meetings in. They're going to need help with support, and then they're going to need help with onboarding, because a lot of times the teams that are doing that aren't really the best teams to have set up to do things like that. So what we're going to do is I have the infrastructure right here, but we're going to break them all down one by one, and I'm going to show you how they all come together. So it'll be fun. So now you guys are building something that actually works, because this is going to take a long time, but not that long, but we want to be able to make sure what we're building, we don't have to go around and build something else. So let's do it one by one. So what we're going to do here is start with the AI booking agent. And the way this works is, as you can see here, what's going to happen is it starts with a Typeform trigger. With a Typeform trigger, it'll have the application. And then what it'll do is it'll go through this lead qualifying AI agent right here. It'll go through and qualify them, and then what will happen is it'll just be like an if true or false. So what happens here is it'll separate it. So it separates it by qualified lead and unqualified lead. So if the lead is qualified, it'll check the availability on the Google Calendar, and then it'll send off a email here. But if not, what then happens is it goes down here, and then there's a response generated to talk to them, just saying that they weren't qualified, it wasn't a good fit, and then everything gets put into the Google Sheet over here. So it's super simple, but we're going to go through and of course build it together. So the first thing that we're going to need is we're going to go over here and then just grab the Typeform trigger. The way you set up this is you just come here and you get the access token. It's in Typeform, it's super easy to find, and then you can just paste it in here. Once you have that pasted in, and look, I'm going to do it over, I don't know why they drag it over here. I'm going to do it over here, like side by side, so you guys can see the whole thing get built. Now, what you're going to need is an AI agent. And then you just come over here, AI agent. And then, like, trust me, as you guys are doing this too as well, this feels much better because now we know what we're solving. We know what the problem is, and now we're building something towards a purpose, right? So we know what it needs, right? Cool. What we need here, this is the best one, Claude. The way you can get that is you can just go over to Claude AI, and then with Claude AI, you just set up an account, and then you get your code. If you don't have Claude AI set up, right? Or if you don't, because I think you have to pay like $5 for it, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. You can just come here and then go to open router, and then what that looks like is you go over here, log in here. You gotta sign in. Let me sign in real quick. All right, once you log in, you can sign up for free. You want to just go over here to models. And then what you do is prompt pricing. You drag it all the way down. And then you can just run one of these like DeepSeek. Anything like this. These are all the free runs. You just come over here, right? And then you just find the API for them. So you just come here and then you just create an API key. The key that it gives you, you're then going to be able to come in here, right? And you're just going to be able to paste that right there. Boom. Once you have that set up, it'll work for you. See, like it won't come up negative, whichever one you guys want to use. Like I said, this one just works a little bit better. With the Typeform, you're gonna have to trigger it. Typeform name, apply for coaching. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna just test the step to get some data real quick. So let me just do that. And now since we have the data that came through, we can then move it over to the agent. What you want to do over here in the agent is bump it down to define below. And then what you can also do is you can just steal my prompt here. It'll just look like this. Right, and what this prompt is, it's basically you're an AI assistant who qualifies applicants for private coaching to scale clothing brands. That was the one for the other offer, but this one is for epoxy flooring. Right, it's a creator that does epoxy flooring. You can go through here. Okay, just had to switch it up for a little bit, but yeah, you can then come here, go over to expression, paste this in. Boom. And then you just, and of course you guys can't paste it in, but these red things, what you want to do, you just want to drag and drop. So like, how much are you willing to invest? Drag and drop. Experience level, you drag and drop. Boom. Bam. Cool. Then what you then do is you can test the step here. See. Cool. It says that they're qualified. Great. So now what we're doing, you do the same if, right, value, and then you could go to string, contains, qualified. Right? Very simple, right? You just drag and drop that, contains qualified. And what that means is if it has qualified in it, right, it'll mark it off as true. And that's how you do the split, because if it doesn't have qualified in it, it'll mark it off as false. And that's how we have this set up over here, right? So make sure that you have something like this set up like this, because already this is literally 80% of the heavy lifting. And with that being said, like, we're all pretty much almost there. So now what we do is we do Google Calendar. All right, and just like this one is getting the availability on the calendar. All we need to do oh damn, I thought I would go back. Then go here, get availability in the calendar. All right, make sure you have your setup over here, connect. Calendar availability, select calendar now plus 1 hour, right? And then, let me space this out a little bit. All right, select the calendar. There we go, my calendar right there. We'll go ahead and test this step. We'll do a Gmail. So Gmail over here. Then we do send message. And the reason why we're doing that is we just want to make sure that we have availability on the calendar before we're letting people book in, right? And the way you just have this set up is like this, and I'm going to show you. So moving over here, the reason why we have two is over here we have their email, and this is a field, so this never switches. Like, this is why we copy and drag and drop the fields in here, because no matter how many different people come through, we never have to go in and touch anything because this is automated. Cool. We connect the Gmail like that. Message sent, subject. You can just be like, book your call below, right? And then the message here, it can be the same. So as you can see here, this is the message that we're using. We could just drag and drop this one. There's no need to have something like spit out a brand new message for us, anything crazy like that, because we have this set up. And the only thing that you're gonna need is this. And this way you can add a personalization. Boom. So now what it'll do is it'll come off, hey Kyle, your application has been approved. You can book a time below here. Cool. Now that that's good, let's go over here. Just double checking everything. Cool. So yeah, that'll be good. We can go ahead and test it. And then what I have over here is just Slack. You don't really need this. I just like notifying myself in Slack. I run a lot of everything business-wise. I run it in Slack. So just keep that in mind. But then another thing that we have over here is we just have it in a Google Sheet as well, and then we just match it with the name. But that's not important, super important either. I just like keeping the data. If you guys don't want to keep the data, you don't have to. But now what we can jump over here to is another AI agent. And then once we jump over into here, we can come here, Same thing, like you add the same node, whatever node that you're using, just add it in here. Of course, I'm using Claude. Then we go through it on here. I just want to wait for that to go through. And then, as always, since you guys are the homies, you guys can steal my prompt. But coming over here, now we're jumping over into here, right? And then we're just going to just do the whole drag and drop. First name, Kyle. Experience level. Cool. Why they want coaching. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, it's right here. Reason they aren't qualified. You just put it here, and then budget. You just slap it right there. Cool. Now that we have all of that, we can then go here, and then it's going to be the same thing. Like you just do the same thing via email, send a message. Okay, let's just pull this data from here. The way we can do it without having to go through everything is just have it set. I can have it set like this and be like, mark this as unqualified. I want to test it. Cool, we just do it like that. 1 second. Unqualified, I want to test it. Let me see. All right, hold on, let me just fix this. Cool, so now what happens is since it's unqualified, we then run it over here. And then everything is gonna be green on this side. Cool, we have the data. And then now we can go over and do the same thing. You can honestly copy and paste this over here. Run it through here. Okay, and then 1 second, execute previous nodes. Give this a sec. Cool, and then we just want to make sure we have everything set up here. And then after that, we're good to go. So now let's jump into the next one. All right, so moving on to the second one, now what we have is the support side, right? And how this happens is we still run it through Typeform, right? We have an AI agent that goes through and checks everything, right? It'll go through and it'll check everything to figure out what it is. And then we do an intent switch. And what this then does is it shoves it over here. If it's like actual support. If it's spam, we shove it down here, right? If it's sales related, we give it over to the sales team. Or if it's billing related, we send it over here. And this is what I have set up in a lot of like content creators businesses. So let's go ahead and break it down. But like I said, this is super simple as well, and we're gonna break it down together. So first thing that we're gonna always need, we're gonna need the Typeform trigger here. Once we get that, let me drag this one down here. Once we get that, we're good to, it's not letting me open it up. There we go. We can go down here, support form, cool. All right, now we're gonna have to pull some data. Let's just get that going. So let me submit this real quick. And then see, cool. So now we got the data that just came through. As you can see, first name Kyle with the email, what are you inquiring about? I need help with the billing issue, my card declined, right? It'll just pick up data like this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get an AI agent over here. We're gonna grab one. We're going to put in define below, expression, right? Then make sure, like I said guys, I use Claude. Open Router is good too as well, but either one. Cool, we have that set up. Come into here, open up the expression, and then you can just go ahead and copy and paste this. And like I said, with a lot of AI agents, the reason why we want to know exactly what we're solving first is because a good chunk of it too as well is the prompting. Like this wouldn't be able to work if I didn't have the right prompting set up. Not at all. Because look, as you can see here, it's you are an intent classifier for support form submissions. Give a user's message reply only with one of the following intent labels, right? It took me a while to get this dialed in, but of course you guys can use it. I don't care. Just keep it between me and you guys, all right? Just kidding. You can see here, we open that up. Same thing as well with the fields. We drag and drop, so this way we don't have to ever go in and change anything, right? We then get that done. Looks good. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to have a switch, right? And do this switch, we want to make sure that this one is over here and equal to what we have set up here. As you can see, you just have it set up here. So operation support request 0 equal billing query 1 equal sales underscore lead 2 equal spam 3, right? And just make sure we have it up here as rules. And then data type is string. So this way, when we go through and run a test, it'll actually start to spit out over here, output 1. Okay, cool, it's a billing query. Right, so then what we do after that is we're gonna build everything from going from here. And like I said as well, when you have this part done, you're literally 80% of the way there. You then wanna go over and then build an AI agent. And then define below, go ahead and put it over on expression. And as usual, you guys can just run in and just copy this from me. This is what it'll look like. Cool. And this way we can have it set up to where we have it as a dialed in process here. So you just have this, set this up high, put the first name here. And just in case you want to this up here, and then we're putting this right here, and this is the response they left. Boom. Cool. That way we have that set up there. We just connect the chat node, and then cool, we have that here. So let's now run this and wait to see what we get. Cool. Now we have that set up. What we're then gonna do is take it to the Gmail, send a message. Cool. And then have it set up just like this here, as you can see. Just do it like that. And what that looks like when you're doing it is, of course, as you know, we've already done this before, but we have the email set up here. We can take the message here, and then the subject line can be like support request for prospect's name. Cool. Let's go ahead and test it. Cool. Sent off. And then what you can then do is, of course, like this is preference. Like you can forward it to billing and have it set up to forward it to, well, why is it not? Yeah, like forward, I'll just make, oh, there they are. Yeah, have it set up to forward it to the billing here, and then have it over here in expression. Email trigger agent. Your support ticket received, and then you can just have it set up here to where you can, let me just move myself over here, where you can just have it as, you know, just the first name, email, what they're inquiring about, and then it's right here. Cool. And then we can set it up there. Cool. And the same thing, like you guys don't have to use Slack. It's honestly preference. What we have down here, we can do this one because, of course, down at 3, we have it go to like general or like spam. And what that looks like is just we then set up another Gmail node, come over here, then go to send message. And then what we then do is you just copy the same things as over here. So have it as a thing here, but like I said, like this is spam, so we have it set up here for spam. So it's like whatever, just like test email at gmail.com, not a priority, and then we can then take the same data and plug it down here, but we won't go do that right now because this is just the spam one. Let's do the next one where it's like actually support. I gotta make some room. Cool. So the next one where it's actually support, get an AI agent over here, and then go down to define below, and then the same thing. We then go ahead and go to here. Cool, go here. Then we're gonna dump it into this. And once we dump it into here, wait 1 second, go to expression. And then we are good to go with this right here. Where is it? There it is. Yep, and just make sure you guys are following along with this. What we can then do is just, I think for just purposes, I'll go ahead and just get this to switch over so we can get the data. Cool, now we have the data going through here. What we're then gonna do is just make sure we clean this up. Customer's name, it's gonna be here. What are they inquiring about? And then last thing, further explanation. And of course, I'm just using this as a test. I just want to get the right data through so we can get to the fun part after the built big infrastructure so we can start selling them. Further explanation, drag that and drop that right there. Boom, now we have that ready, good to go. Let's test it, see what we get. Cool. Got it. Let's see. All right, so now that we have it, here we go. We're gonna go over into here, and it's pretty much like the same thing, right? You're just gonna you already have these built up, so you're gonna take these and just copy and paste them into here. So boom, we have that. Okay, all good. And then we just make sure we just switch this. Actually, no need to actually fix it, never mind. And then we can then forward this to, and I wouldn't say forward to billing, it's like I just forward to support. And you can just change the name in here so it's not confusing. Forward to support. Got it. Cool. Now let's move on to the last one, and that one is going to be the sales agent. So let's get the data for that now. So we got this. Let me just make some space for this real quick. As you can see here, we have these two. So now we're going to do the third one. And what this is going to be, it's just super simple. The way I have this set up is like, of course, we have a sales team that we'll forward this to. So we just get the Gmail. All right, send message. Cool. And then we can just use the same ones we have over here. Right, lead name, we just take this and then run with it. Just do this. Paste this, put this in expression, paste that in there, paste that in there. It's gonna be red, explanation. Let's get what they're inquiring about here. Email over here. Email. Oh, there you go. Oh, whoa. Get the email right here. And then lead name right here. Boom. Got it. Cool. And then now you just do test. You put the right email in here though. Gmail. subject is going to be new sales lead. Boom. And we just have that set up there. We send the email off. And then the only thing else we need is, if you want to, you can add it to side channel. And there you go. That is the second one that we just bodied just like that. Let's move on to the next one. All right, cool. So now what we have here is we have a bread and butter. It's a copywriting agent. I use this for a lot of content creators as well. And the way that this works is it triggers at 10 a.m. As you can see over here, it fetches certain tasks to go ahead and write content ideas from the Google Sheet. Then it goes through this AI agent right here, right? Writes a script, and then it gets proofread by another AI agent. And if it's good to go, we then get it shipped off with a copy and pastable email, or we have it over here to where we just go ahead and it edits the email, and we can then push it out. So as I said, we're going to do this quickly too as well. We're going to cook this up. How we do this is we go over here, we get a schedule node. Let me see, because sometimes I know it doesn't let you do twice on the same thing. So for purposes, we'll drag this over here. What we'll then do is we'll get a Google Sheet. We're going to speed run this one. Get rows in sheet. Let's make sure we got the right one. Yeah, we'll do content spreadsheet. That's one that I know will have it. We have it set up here, to sheet 1. Column. Let me make sure. Then we have it set up like here. Let's just go ahead and test it actually. Once we have that pulling from there, then we want to go over to these AI agents over here. Just grab that. Define below, expression. Go over here, pop that in. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, you got that. Got it. And then let's just go ahead and grab this. We're gonna then take this and we're gonna paste it down below. And what this is, like I said, guys, this is all just a prompting game when it comes to stuff like this. You're a senior email copywriter, learned for crafting high converting, punching, engaging marketing emails. Write a persuasive marketing email based on the following brief, and just make sure you have all of that set up right there. Goal wise, have this set up here. Boom. Topic, have that set up as well. Alright, product. Boom. And then let's test it. Let's see what kind of email it cooks up for us. Boom. And then now we just put in the proofreading AI agent. So we then take this. Advanced AI agent, same thing over here, define below, put it on expression, then we go over here and then we slap that right there. And then what we then do is, as usual, you guys can come over here and let me know. Also, if I'm going too fast, just try to slow it down or something. I just want to, like I said, I just want to speed run this. I have like really in-depth tutorials all over my YouTube channel if you want to like watch me go like in depth and explain every single thing, but I just want to show you guys just like everything you need to go ahead and build out a infrastructure. So as you can see, our expression here, you're a veteran copywriter who understands the tone of this, should really strive to sell the click and have a high open rate. Rate the script below on a scale of 1 to 10, and then you just plug this in here and then it'll go ahead and rank it for you. So let's see what we get. It will go through, it'll rank it, it gives it an 8, solid. So now what we do is we do the if or the switch. Have that open right here. Make sure it looks identical to this right here, right? Contains 8, 9, or a 10, right? And the way you just do that is you just go over here. A string contains add condition or 8, 9, 10. And then we drag this over here. Drag that right here. Drag that right here. Awesome. Cool. And then you just take this. I just do this. It's not necessary, but I just do this because I've just seen you're just more consistent when I did use this. But all you have to do is just make sure you have this set up in here. And then last but not least, wherever you want to send it to. So you do Slack, but another easy one to do is if you want to just send an email to yourself, send a message send to gmail.com. Right, subject, new email, scripted, HTML. Let's test all of this so we can get the actual data. Execute previous note, I mean. Boom. Then we can just send it to ourselves here, just like that. And then we are all complete. Cool. We have that set up. Let's just do the bottom one. And this one is just going to be the editing AI agent. Just put here. Have it set up as defined below. Expression. Cool. We go over here. Drop that in there. Boom. All right, and it's the same thing. You honestly just want to, you can just copy and paste these honestly into here. And then there you go. It's all complete. We just bodied that one quickly. And now with those three that we just set up, now we have an infrastructure that just came together. Now we have something that books calls, but also deals with support and also does copywriting and manages emails, right? That is what I mean by infrastructure, not this one-off bullshit where it's just like, oh, it only books calls. Sorry, it only does one thing. And you don't want to have one-trick pony AI agents. You want to have a full infrastructure. So now we have this is what we built so far. So let's continue to move on. All right. So now that we have a infrastructure built up and we know the problem that we're solving, let's go ahead and actually scrape and find some more leads. So an easy way to do it is honestly going on YouTube and searching up a specific niche. Shout out me right there. And then just going through and looking for, a specific like creator you would want to look at. So let's just do the top, like Brandon Timothy, for example. So with everything, what we're just checking for is just checking the links. And then as you can see, they have like a free masterclass over here. Cool. So what we can then do before I do this is, yes, I like to have everything set up in Google Sheet, like so. Once you just have a list set up like this, that's where you can easily just come over here and start. What I like to do is just get a list over here, put it in, put like the YouTube. You can go in here too as well and find, the email. There's this thing called Similar To that I use a lot, and watch this. This is what it does. You can go ahead and click here, and then what it'll do is, if you just give it 1 second, what you can then do is come over here. It'll bring up this person with their niche, but then you can press search. And what will happen is it'll start going on a search for related YouTubers. And then boom, it's starting to just give us people inside that niche. As you can see, Etsy shop, inside that niche. And then you can just open it up to a new tag. As you can see, it's giving us 12, 13, 14, 18 new leads that we can go through. And then this way we can use it and find people in the same niche. And of course,
one big misconception,
different what you're looking for. So that's why you can niche, make sure you get like niche specific people that you can start selling the service to. So look, it's super easy to go ahead and start pulling leads from here. And then you can do the same thing where we're here checking bios and then seeing if what we can do is have something set up to where we can put the AI agents in. Look, get your AI agent shot review, schedule a call, all of that good stuff. Even the website could use a little bit of work. All of that stuff right there is something that our infrastructure can literally help out. It's literally that simple. And what I like to do is I like to just build a list of at least 20 to when you're testing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do that now. And another thing that's dope about Similar To as well is that you can touch this right here, and then it'll come through 1 second, and then it'll just literally give you the email, which works. And then you can come over here and then just start having everything set up in the email. And then I just have everything set up in the name in this way, so that way we can have something set up here. And I'll explain to you why I'm doing it like this. All right, so now there's two ways to go about this. You can either do this manually, and I can show you guys what that's going to look like, or you can do this by having, another AI agent on the side doing it for you as well. And I'm going to show you guys both. So I wanted to make this to just show you guys so you guys can have the same method of thinking that I have. Is remember, guys, we're not selling the system, you're selling the outcome. AI is just an engine, you're selling the destination, right? So just breaking it down, the Loom video outreach, it's personalized, it's premium, it's super hard to ignore too as well. Like if you want to land like those premium deals for AI infrastructure, like Loom videos are your best weapon, but most people suck at them. So here's how to do it right, and this is like what I've done to land my clients over the years. So what you want to do is delivered like just like a high impact message that shows you understand their problem. Make them feel like you built this system just for them. Hence, we did, because if you follow this whole process so far with me, this system is just for them, right? And it's just about getting them honestly curious enough to go through and book a call. You don't know how many times that I have literally made the system after I figured out who I wanted to sell it to, and then they get on the call and everything just fits together super well. It's like literally putting like a charger into the plug, into an outlet. It is designed for it, right? Then going through it, the Loom flow formula for the script is first, like the first 3 seconds, just like a good pattern interrupt. So for example, it's like, I built this AI infrastructure that fixes problem, completely hands off. Or it could be something like, are you still doing X manually? I use this to be able to fix this problem, right? Anything along the lines of just like a simple hook like that will do wonders and work really well. But then you go straight into just like problem framing. So calling out the real problem or bottleneck, speak to how it's costing them or draining them and how you've seen it through the whole entire market. Because if you actually you find a problem that exists in every single, business in that specific niche, then you're able to go ahead and really call it out that way, right? So doing that, then what then happens is you speak to how it's costly and it's draining them. And then, you've got leads, but you can either be like, your follow-up's either manual, slow, or inconsistent. That's where most deals die. You have to talk to them in that type of language. Then you have to go where it is, and it's outcome driven, right? So the next 20 to 45 seconds, you describe your system's result and not the tech. Don't be like, I did this end thing, blah, 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 blah. Like it's going to go in one ear and out the other, and you don't want to do all this work for that to be the case. So you definitely want to have it set up to the point where it's like, okay, cool. Like I install AI systems that book your calls, follow up, and give you a live dashboard so you can see what's converting, right? Have it set up like that. Don't do the overcomplicated things. I know we want to nerd out and we want to just literally spit fire at them, but that's not what we're going to do, right? And then after that is you just have a soft CTA. And this is usually at the 45 to 60 second mark. And pretty much what that is, it's just invite them to reply or click. What makes sense is to dig in. I'll walk you through like exactly how it looks though, but like also as well, another tip and pointer is CTA at the end. But another thing a lot of people have never told you is to CTA towards the beginning as well. Because everybody knows most of the views will be in the first half of the video than the second half. So you do a hard CTA at the end. That's what a lot of people teach you guys. But one thing that no one wants to teach you is all their attention is in the beginning. So doing a soft CTA to where it's like, I built this AI infrastructure that fixes problem completely hands off. And if you're interested, you can go ahead and book a call below. But going into it, it's like a super simple soft CTA. And then you go into the body of everything, and then you do the hard CTA as well. So that way they can just be like, okay, let me just book a call and then I'll watch it later. So that way you can get them locked in, right? Another thing with your Loom, when you're recording the Loom, right? Just keep it 60 seconds max. The Loom hook is good, but also a fire Loom title is awesome. So like when you make a Loom video, for example, it's kind of funny that I'm recording a Loom over a Loom, but as you can see here, what you can do is you can edit a put a title right here. So when you send people the Loom video, they can see it on the title as well. So that is super important. So we just want to make sure that we have all that dialed in. Now let's move on to the other one. Now, the next thing that we have here with our whole entire creator list over here is we have an AI agent that specializes in just sending off emails. And what this is it's just a scheduled trigger, or you can trigger it yourself. It reads through the whole entire Google Sheet. So as you can see, we'll be able to pull the data from here. Boom, we have all the data here. What then happens is it splits into batches, and we have an AI agent that literally cooks up messages to send. So we'll cook this up right here. We'll see. And the reason why I have it like this, split into batches, is we have it do them literally one by one. So as you can see, hey Brandon, hope this email finds you well and recently came across your content. That is why we have this set up with all of these, right? So Brandon, his email, and the YouTube channel. And this is with anyone, like any influencer, content creator, whatever niche you want to do it in, you can do it like this. And I also do this with all the other niches too as well. Like this isn't a one size fits all type of thing. This also works for anybody in home service, anyone in a local service-based business, literally anyone, this will work. Once it cooks up that message, we then have it go through a wait, just because I just realized it doesn't have as much errors. And then we have it go through here and we have it send a email. You can put whatever subject line you want to. What this email will go ahead and send off. And then what then happens is it goes through the code node, goes through Slack. And then of course in the description, like I said as well, you'll be able to find stuff like this. And then how we have it set up here is we actually have it sent to say status sent, because what will then happen is it won't duplicate. It'll go ahead and just move on to the next one. So as you can see going over, let's refresh this for a second. 1 second, I think I know what it is. We got to move it over to the right sheet. Here we are, status, email, yep, test now. There we go, it should have worked. Reload the site. All right, and there we are. And it'll go down every single lane. And that's how you set it up to track it. Like the selling part is easy. The biggest part is honestly finding the niche. So now we'll go through and we'll run through this whole entire thing, and then we'll track any responses when we get them. All right, before we end this off, I just want to be super transparent with everyone. These are all the responses I got. Some are good, some are okay, but that's what it's all about. You have to just keep going through, just especially from the small test that we did. Also as well, as you can see, a lot of people don't show like, some of their bad results. They just, make it look like it's all going to be 100%, flowers and everything, but it's not, right? There's going to be a little bit of work involved. But as you can see from Tom, as here, you can say, hey, he said, hey, Kyle, thanks for sending this. Do you have any case studies to share? This is like, all right. It gives us like a 7 out of 10. I'm going to have to like show him some, extra, case studies or like more things about the AI infrastructure. Because of course, sometimes you're going to want it to be explained a little bit more, but not too crazily in depth. Ethan said, I'd love to hear more. This is like a 8-ish, because I can still reach out and then get them and get him to, be more on board. Jonathan as well, he responded and he said, thank you for the detailed overview here. This, I just have to continue asking more questions and also being able to just, probe a little bit to be able to get him to come more out so we can get him on a call. This one is a great one. This is what you want to get. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for reaching out. Let's discuss on a call to see if it could be a good fit. Are you free Monday around 12 p.m. PST? I'm recording this video on Sunday, so it's good. So I'm going to be able to book in a call with him tomorrow. But yeah, on this video, I just really hope that you guys took a lot from it. I want you guys to be able to use the same thing I did by first being able to find the right niche, then being able to find the problem that you're solving in that niche, and then being able to really go at it and build a solid AI agent and infrastructure to be able to fix it, and then go out and sell it the right way. But until then, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.